What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to JQ.
Greetings to you, fellow Zambian citizens. My name is Binwell Mpundu, elected Member of Parliament for Nkana. I've decided to break the silence and address the issue of Honorable JJ Banda. Ordinarily, I do not like to speak about subjects or issues that I have no correct information about, because at any time I like to be very factual. I've been prompted to have this comment because of public pressure. I've seen a number of social media postings where a number of our friends, particularly from the UPND, are suggesting that my silence indicates that there's something that I know. I've seen a number of people who are suggesting I could know the whereabouts of JJ. Now, even as I make this comment, I want to make it very clear. I'll be making mere assumptions, because for the very first time, I'm extremely blank as to what could be happening. Now, those of you who have followed me would know by now that I'm very close to Honorable JJ Banda. JJ has become more than just a friend. JJ has become a brother that I never had. And so it would interest you to know that I'm constantly informed of whatever is happening to JJ. I get updates in the morning. I get updates in the afternoons. I also get updates in the evening. I'm in contact with everyone around JJ, particularly the sisters. So if you like, I have become a part of JJ's family. And so when I speak about an issue relating to JJ, just know that I'm speaking from a position of being very informed. Whether I'm away in Kitwe, whether I am in Mwansabombwe, I would get exclusive updates as to what is happening to JJ. Now, for those of you who have followed the story of JJ, JJ was abducted. I think by now, for those who had doubts, you must have been putting dots together, because JJ did name the people that abducted him. So from the time that JJ was abducted, I think that was somewhere around May, JJ has been in the hands of the state. Okay? He was first in a military facility at Minor Soko, briefly moved to Sikanze Clinic, and in the night he was driven from Sikanze Clinic at the instruction of Officer Yui into Chipata, where officially he was charged on 2 counts. He was charged with the count of aggravated robbery, namely that during the altercation in Vubwi involving a journalist called Sukwa had lost a 200 kwacha, and also his cameras were damaged, or his camera was damaged. So JJ has been charged with aggravated robbery in regards to a 200 kwacha that Sukwa claims to have lost in the process of that altercation, as well as a camera that apparently had belonged to the Post newspaper where Sukwa used to work. The other count that JJ was charged with, or has been charged with, is attempted murder. Now, attempted murder in that Sukwa claims that JJ had threatened to burn Sukwa alive. Now, the attempted murder is contrary to the propaganda that has been pushed for all these years, namely that JJ had urinated in Sukwa's mouth. I think by now, all those of you who had believed the propaganda knows that JJ did not urinate in anyone's mouth. Because if he had done that, today that matter would have been before the courts and he would be charged for that matter. What is before the courts today is that JJ had threatened to burn Sukwa alive, and so he's being charged with attempted murder. So, you now do understand that JJ's health has been failing from the time that he was abducted. A few days ago, I think 2-3 days ago, we were informed that JJ had failed ill and was rushed to the hospital. For those of you who may not be aware, JJ has had trouble with his health. Number one, his underlying condition of epilepsy got aggravated at the time he was in detention when he was abducted, and because of the torture that he went through. So he has had multiple series of seizures. The other complication that surfaced is that of hernia. He developed hernia. Okay, for those of you who understand, is that your intestines will protrude or will come out. On that fateful day when he was taken to the hospital, JJ was expected to undergo a mini operation because he was now bleeding because of the hernia. Facts are that when he was taken into the theater for operation, which lasted for almost 4 hours, the doctors strangely found a blood clot inside the ass. A blood clot. Only God knows how that blood clot came in. But you and me can only conclude that when he was tortured by the abductors, he must have had, sustained serious internal injuries. Now, strangely, this blood clot was pressing on the nerves that runs to the legs. So for some time, JJ has had numb legs from the waist to the knees. Now, we are very lucky that the doctors were able to discover this blood clot, because according to the doctors, if they had not found this clot early enough, JJ would have had a permanent paralysis. His legs would have been paralyzed permanently. So we want to thank those medical personnel who found that blood clot and they were able to release it. By the way, you must know, the fact is that he's had challenges of numb legs, not paralyzed legs, numb legs, from the knees all the way to the waist. So when they attempted to work on the bleeding that JJ experienced, they now found that blood clot and they worked on the blood clot. And I want to believe that they were now supposed to also proceed with the procedure relating to the hernia, which they did not do because of that issue they found of the blood clot. Strangely, yesterday evening, JJ was reported to be missing, I think around 21-22 hours. Immediately that issue happened, when JJ was found missing, I was alerted quickly by the relatives, and as I was always done, I made the public aware that JJ was missing. At this stage, let me just make this conclusion. There are two things to the issue of JJ. It's either, and I want you to mark that, it's either JJ has run away from lawful custody, in which case I can only suggest that is okay, because nobody can run away from custody and only to go and kill themselves. If indeed JJ has escaped from lawful custody on his own accord, then we can all conclude that JJ is okay, because obviously he can't run away only to go and kill himself. But if JJ did not run away on his own, then we can fear the worst. Because remember, JJ was in the custody of the correctional officers, and in the hospital, as told by Honorable Jack Mwimbu, he was being guarded by 5 officers. And he was on the 2nd floor of the Chipata hospital. So these two scenarios, you must critically analyze them. If JJ has escaped on his own, then we can all be happy, we can all conclude that he's okay. But if JJ did not run away, then a lot of questions can be asked as to where is he exactly and who has taken him. Because for all we know is that JJ is supposed to be in the hands of law enforcement, officers, the correctional officers, as well as the Zambia police. Interestingly, Honorable Jack Mwimbu yesterday gave a press statement, in which statement he confirms these facts, namely that JJ was unwell, that JJ had an issue of hernia and was taken into hospital and was worked on by the medical practitioners. He further goes on to state, the minister further goes on to state that JJ was, the medical practitioners had prescribed a remedy, namely that JJ must be sitting in salt water. So at least we can now all conclude that JJ was not faking his illness. He had two serious conditions, that of epilepsy as well as hernia, and he was taken into hospital because they were working on his illness. Strangely, the minister makes an assumption that maybe the mistake the state made, was to treat him humanely. According to Honorable Jack Mwimbu, is suggesting they should have treated him in a less human way. Now that's strange from the Minister of Home Affairs. He's suggesting maybe they should have treated him in a less human way. For those of you who have followed the issue of JJ, you know very well that JJ was not treated in any humane way. Because even the worst criminal in the world is given special treatment when it comes to their health. Because everybody has a right to health, even the inmates, even those who are pronounced as criminals. So Honorable Jack Mwimbu, in his fashion, wants to suggest that maybe they should be treating people in a less human way. So let me say this, colleagues. As far as we are concerned, me and the family, we do not know the whereabouts of JJ. Okay? Now, if our brother has escaped, then, like I said, we can only assume he's okay. But if he has not, we can only wait for the state to inform us as to where he is right now. Because, look, when you are arrested, you are exclusively in the hands of the state. And the state owes us a duty as to the whereabouts of one of our relatives who is in their hands. So I think that police, Honorable Jack Mwimbu, must do a good job in informing us as to where JJ could be. Because look, if the minister is confirming that JJ was unwell and was worked on, a few questions that people are asking: how is it that then he jumped from the second floor of the hospital? How is it that a person escaped from 5 officers of the state? And like the statement from Jack Mwimbu suggests, the wife walked out of the room, immediately informed the officers to go in, and immediately they found JJ had disappeared. How convenient could this be that the wife just walks out, leaves, JJ, goes out, the officers comes in, and he has disappeared, and no trace? Because if he had disappeared in that reflex action, he could not have run very far. And I think that a quick manhunt would have located where he was. So I think that these are honest questions that are being asked that requires answers. But like I said, I am making these as mere, insinuations. I will not make conclusions at this point because I do not have facts. My sources of facts, the family, are equally very blank, and interestingly, or unfortunately, very worried because they do not know where JJ is. Now, I've been informed about the police, apparently attempting to come and pick me up. God knows for what. Apparently in Zambia, it has become a crime that if you are close to somebody, if you're going to speak about a friend, it becomes a crime. It means that you are colluding in whatever your friend could be doing. Unfortunately, that is useless thinking. I have a duty as a friend, as a brother, to inform the nation as to the happenings of JJ. Even if I'm going to inform you in a split second when an act happens, it is a duty. In this case, the duty to protect and to look after the whereabouts of JJ lies in the hands of the state. Because we gave JJ to the state after their insistence that he was wanted for crimes. So they own the exclusive duty and right to protect him and to inform us as to where he is right now. Because the state should not allow somebody in detention to run away. Now, in an event that the police would want me to help with investigations, they are very welcome. Because we must not be speculating, Binwell must be brought in for questioning, he knows too much. Just call me. I think by now I have demonstrated that I am a law-abiding citizen. The UPND have summoned me to appear before the police 3 times. And I have obliged. I have gone to the police 3 times. I think that is on record. So if this time around the police wants me, they must just call on me to come and ambush me. It's not correct, because you can only ambush somebody when you have evil intentions. But if it is to help with investigations, they must just send a call out, and I'll walk in, as I've walked into the police 3 times. Okay? But to continue suggesting that we must not have friends, or we must be labeled, accomplices by virtue of being friends, come on, it can only be a laughable matter. But this is a serious matter. We deserve answers as to where the whereabouts of Honorable JJ Banda. If he has run away, the state has a duty to find him, because they were keeping him. If he has not run away, then they must also explain to us where he is. I think this is a conversation that people must be having, devoid of insults. Why are you insulting us? Why are you calling us names? Let's have this very honest conversation. We have a matter, like they say, let's have this conversation. Colleagues, I'd wanted to keep quiet until I have facts, but I am prompted to speak about this because I have seen a build-up of speculations. So I thought I must give this, comment, so that now I leave up to you to make your own judgment as to what seems to be making sense. Because according to us, it is not making sense that a man who was on a hospital bed, confirmed by the minister that he was unwell and was worked on by, medical personnel over a condition of hernia, a confirmation that he had a clot in his anus. You and me can only ascertain or conclude that JJ was unwell. How then he jumped from the 2nd floor and was still able to run away in split minutes? Only you and me can continue to speculate, but we deserve answers from the state. So the minister and the police would do well to give us something close to what would make sense, and not what we are getting so far. Fellow citizens, I thank you. I leave up to you now to make your own judgment and your own conclusion. Let's for once have a very mature and honest conversation. The life of Honorable JJ Banda is on the line. Unless he has run away, in which case we can only conclude it's okay. And I would not support JJ to run away, because he would be confirming himself guilty. But people run away sometimes because of not having confidence in the justice system. I've seen Tayari running away. I've seen Kaiser Zulu running away. But I would not advise anybody to run away, because when you run away, you put yourself in a precarious situation. Okay? Even though I would want to agree with some people, I've seen a lot of comments who are suggesting if he has run away, because they would have killed him. Even that for me is not the solution. But we can only speculate. That is why we want to say, if JJ has run away, we hope to hear from him. But if he hasn't run away, the state owes us an explanation. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, J Cool, and turn on the notification bell, cause I'm gonna see you in the next video.